And we're back with another episode of the RookieVille podcast brought to you by Ballsville, where we create big payouts with great odds. I said it wrong, just for you, Sean, okay? We are back from a hiatus. I'm sorry for the big interruption in time. We had to live life. It was summertime. Connor, what did you get into, man? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I had a lot of family time and stuff. The 4th of July, obviously, we took a little break for, and then the last couple of weeks I've been traveling up and down and visiting different family members and all that stuff. So, yeah, just visiting a lot of family. It gave us a little time to actually, get a little bit of training camp in, maybe see about these rookies running with first teams or some reports out of the beat writers or anything like that. So,
the best shape of your life comments.
Yeah. Stuff like that, or what's the one that Jaden Blue is a lazy guy or whatever out in
He's a diva.
Dallas.
His mom's running the show.
Yeah, so
the whole nine.
We got all that stuff going. So we got a little bit more information we can give you, and you can round out your rookie drafts. I know there's one coming up this week in Ballsville that we did a mock draft for in Toothless. I think that's the last Ballsville rookie draft, if I'm not wrong. So you can have a little bit more information for that, and then I think almost all rookie drafts should be complete, and most of your other leagues too. We'll get into redraft season, and then we'll kick off Hall of Fame game next week, into this week. So,
isn't it this Thursday?
Yeah, into this week, I think, right?
Yeah, into this Thursday, literally like 3 days from now. Yeah, man, it's football's going to be coming out very, very, very shortly. I kind of lost my train of thought when you're kind of getting into. I didn't even was expecting the Hall of Fame game, but yes, it is coming up. Yeah, I even went to Hawaii recently, so I had a little vacation time with the fan bam. Obviously just trying to get things organized for this season. My takes, my conviction, and my flag plans, because like you said, redraft, you just got to draft like you're right. So got to get those things organized before we go. So along those same lines, I mean, we're going to talk about bold predictions. These might be crazy, but there's also a lot of conviction behind them just because we feel it. I mean, we're playing on vibes based, but we're not going to throw some stats at you. We might throw some other little supporting evidence here. You want to get right into your first one, or do you want me to kick it off? I mean, let's just see.
You can kick it off this one, and then I'll go, and then we'll go back and forth and maybe argue or agree or whatever else you want to do. So
we can do a little mini rebuttal on it, or just like, hey, I feel you. All right. So my first one, and I'm going to start with an Ohio State guy, and kind of a guy like I've been hot and cold, especially on the first few episodes of this podcast, which was Trey Henderson. I didn't like the landing spot. I thought it was kind of just. I wanted him to go somewhere else, not necessarily to the Raiders, just somewhere else, because I don't like Josh McDaniels. But I can't let that take or that feeling just overcome me, because this kid is ultra talented. There's a lot of opportunity there. I understand that we play a game where opportunity does help a lot for your fantasy production. So I'm going to say that he is a top 10 running back. Now that is bullish, of course, because there's a lot of talented running backs. But I'm very big on this notion that this rookie running back class is going to create a seismic shift into the running back landscape. I think we saw a little bit of an outlier with the health of the running back position last year. A lot of veteran running backs, especially the running back twos, the running backs that ADP-wise were 13 through 24, stayed healthy, and they outproduced that ADP massively. So I'm thinking that if we see a step back in that regression, these kind of running backs that are still kind of in that rent, I think Trey Hendo's ADP is right around that same, that 20th running back off the board. So this is maybe a round or just a tier up from that. So it's not too far-fetched. I'm projecting him for about 620 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 70 catches. Now that would be about 90 to maybe even 100 targets. He's getting a lot of run right now with the ones, and also a lot of passing. A lot of the beat writers are highlighting the passing game, that he's getting a lot of touches in the passing game right now. So hopefully there's a sign of things to come. Now, Josh McDaniels, the reason why I like this so much is because he was there when Tom Brady and James White. I'm kind of comping him to another old veteran New England running back, James White. Not necessarily Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that's too lofty. Maybe he gets to that peak and that ceiling eventually. But I think in James White, where he's just like a sure, reliable hands out of the backfield for Drake May, he's clearly the best pass blocking running back on the team. So I think snaps are also there for opportunity. So what say you about this bold prediction?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bullish, like you said. So I actually don't mind it that much. I mean, I think I have him, like you said, around RB20, probably closer to 15 in my estimate. But him being one of the main pass catchers out there in New England, they really don't have much talent out there. Diggs has had his fair share of catches and seasons, but he's getting up there in age. They got Kyle Williams. They got a couple other guys. I think beat writers have said Pop Douglas is looking really good over there too. So, but Henderson, caught the ball, a lot at Ohio State. So I think that's
You don't hate it. You don't hate
I
it.
don't hate it. It's not. I mean, obviously, it's a bold prediction.
It's a bold prediction.
I'm not going to hate on it, but I'm going to go the other way with mine.
I see that.
I'm going to go with that RJ Harvey doesn't finish within the top 6 of just the rookie RBs. So I think he's getting drafted. He's getting drafted at like RB4 or RB3 in the class, or I guess it's RB4.
RB4, RB5, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. But my estimate, he doesn't finish in the top 6. I think Caleb Johnson outproduces him this year. I thought Judkins would outproduce him, but we see he's having a little bit of personal issues and contract issues, alike. So that might be. There's some other guys, you got Cam Scatabo that can still finish above him, and he's going pretty far after him, stuff like that. But they also signed Dobbins. I don't remember if we talked about, on the last pod that we had. Last RookieVille pod that we had, that they even had Dobbins yet. But so that's where I'm going to go with this one. What do you think?
No, I think you're. I mean, it's definitely valid. I also don't hate it like you on my first one. I think there's definitely validity to that, just because there is that extra body in the room who can take that touchdown equity away from him. So the opportunity to score when they are in close. I also think a lot of people are falling in love with this Denver offense right now. I think there's a lot of consensus on Ballsville, especially on the main pod. I've heard this connotation of, if the defense is very porous, they give up a lot of points, like everybody was throwing out Miami when they traded away Jalen Ramsey. That's more for fantasy success because there's more opportunity for the offense to be on the field. I mean, like if J.K. Dobbins is the early workhorse and they're leading games, like there's not that pass catching upside that we are hoping from RJ Harvey. So there's that narrative and that notion if things go that way, maybe just opportunity is not plentiful for him in year one. Not to say that he's going to be a bad running back. He can still be very efficient.
Exactly.
Still, and go that way. So, but anyway, that's my take.
Yeah, exactly. Dobbins isn't going to be there, another 3 or 4 years. It's going to be in all likelihood, it's going to be RJ Harvey's backfield here in years to come. But they have a talented team. They got Bo Nix. They actually outperformed what they projected to last year. They just signed Sutton to an extension. They're going to try to go out there and win and not just, throw Harvey out there because he's young or whatever. They're going to try to win. So I think he's going to probably fall back in touches, and Dobbins is going to do the majority. Obviously, Dobbins has a lot of injury history. But what's your second one? What's your second bold take here?
For sure. Yeah. Travis Hunter, this is going to piss DJ and Ethan, and sorry for cussing off a little bit, but Travis Hunter is going to win both the rookie awards. I'm going to say he's winning both offensive and defensive rookie of the year because this man is a unicorn. And this goes against all my priors. So let me say this to those two guys. This goes against all my priors. I was in the league threads of other leagues outside of Bosville, but at the same time, I was saying there's no way this guy's playing wide receiver. I've obviously changed my tune. When I get presented with new information, I try to adapt. I try to be a good analyst in that regard, right? So when they made the move, when they jumped from 5 to 2, and they traded away future draft capital, I mean, they literally, I think, at least my interpretation of it is they view this guy as a two-way player and two positions in one. Almost like getting two different guys with the same pick. So I'm interested in seeing that. Again, I think these are pretty long shot odds in Vegas even for this to happen. I have just general of projections here of 85 receptions, a little over 1,050 receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. And I guess for defense, I just wrote something like PFF's top 5 corner, 5 INTs, top 5 in completion percentage allowed, coverage success rate, things like that. Just like throwing that out there. Like if you look at PFF, he should be in those top 5 in every single category to get this award, right? That's pretty much that. What do you think of that?
I think that's crazy coming from a Raiders fan that you don't have Genty winning offensive player or offensive rookie of the year. But I don't think it's too outlandish. I mean, especially with I think he's playing like equal amount of offensive snaps and defensive snaps in camp right now. He looks so fluid, especially on their offensive side of the ball. So I don't think it's too absurd. I do think it's probably less likely that he wins in my opinion, I think it's less likely he wins Offensive Player of the Year than he does Defensive Player of the Year because there's so many guys that could go out there and produce. You have Genty. Obviously, you have Henderson finishing as a top 10 running back, so you give him some validity. I would like to talk about one name that's on the Raiders. I have Besh finishing within the top 3 rookies, wide receivers. I don't think that's too outlandish, but he had early in the offseason, he had like a round 3 ADP for rookie drafts. He started flipping up there to early round 2, mid round 2. But you have Travis Hunter, you have Mbuka, you have all those guys that can also finish up there. But I think he's going to finish top 3. I think he might even finish the Raiders wide receiver 1. That's my bold prediction. I think you love that, right?
I do, and it's actually he's part of my bonus. What do we call it? I was going to say bullish take, bold prediction. If we get to it, if we have enough time, we could probably throw that out there. But or maybe we could just do that as a segue to that one, and I'll go back to my number 3. But no, I think just the only thing I would push back against it, and this is even against me as much as I love the guy, is we talked about it pre-show too. Dante Thornton's getting a lot of pub right now, so maybe they're in the comments or people watching this later after the fact that like, oh, Dante Thornton. I hear you. I know. We see it. We hear it too. Again, but I don't want to put too much stock in depth chart wise of who's running with the ones right now. I maybe gave this example to Connor also. Like Khalil Shakir last year was saying he wasn't running with the ones last year, but there's no context of what these beat writers are actually really watching. You don't know what segments they're running, if it's just 12 personnel, if it's red zone, XYZ. There's a lot of different contexts and variables that are going to go in this running with the ones or not running with the ones.
Just a couple of years ago, we had, Jordan Addison and Quentin Johnson, and Quentin Johnson was getting all the love in training camp and all that. And Jordan Addison was falling down rookie drafts. And we saw how that turned out. Jordan Addison obviously had a great rookie year, and Quentin Johnston really couldn't stay on the field much and dropped, couldn't really.
Or Jamar Chase can't catch a ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's a couple of years before that. So, yeah, definitely.
So, you know what? Let me do that. I think we still have time. So, I'm going to do this. This is my bonus one. This is if we had time. But, because we talk about Jack Besh, I say that Jack Besh is what Amon-Ra St. Brown was to your hopes of winning a 2021 title when he had that incredible run, that final 6-game stretch or so, where he was just on a tear. So, this kind of goes with him where he can finish in that top end of the rookie class, just simply because of a blazing finish, kind of like what Brian Thomas even did this past year. If they're not in contention, obviously we see a lot of rookie receivers take that step forward, right? And he's going to earn. I think he can earn his keep because he's a great blocker, and if he stays on the field and stays healthy, he can be along the lines and kind of overstep and leap Jacoby Myers for those targets at the end of the season. So I'm kind of with you there, man.
Yeah, you want to go into your third? Or you want me to
I'll just finish up. Yeah, I'll finish up here. My third one was T-Ferg. Terrence Ferguson and Jarquez Hunter are both starting by midseason and could become league winners. I'm sorry, I can't say can be. This is a bold prediction. Will become league winners. I don't care what Scott says about Kyron Williams. I don't let him fill your head with that nonsense. No, I'm just kidding, Scott. But I think Kyron is very fragile this year. I know that's probably a takey here pretty much year in, year out, but he still hasn't been signed. I feel like if Sean McVay loved him, I think he would have been signed by now, by already. He came down in yards after carry last year. The usage rate in the passing game's not there. They drafted even more competition for him this season. So I think even if Jarquez or Blake Corum's eating into that production, but in this particular case, Jarquez Hunter takes over, I just think he's very explosive and does kind of what Kyron can't do with the explosivity. And then Terrence Ferguson only really has to beat Tyler Higbee. And Sean McVay's been searching for this tight end in his offense for years. And I think there's that Kelsey swagger with him. So I think that they're going to make a push with this guy. As long as he gets tight end 2 out of camp, I think there's a possibility he takes a leap by midseason.
Yeah, I think your Ferguson is more likely than your Jarquez Hunter take there.
Got to make it spicy, though.
Yeah, that's definitely spicy. I don't quite agree with that. I think Kyron is probably going to be the lead back there for majority of the season. I think
he could totally do that. Totally.
Exactly. It's a bold take, but I want to talk a little bit about the tight ends. You said, you had Ferguson is going to be a league winner. Just to talk about that a little bit more, I think 2 rookie tight ends are going to finish top 10 this year, whether that's Tyler Warren or Colson Loveland or Ferguson or even Arroyo.
Okay.
Seattle. I think 2 of those guys finished top 10 in tight end fantasy points this year. I don't know how bullish that is. I think that's probably a stretch. I don't think either. I think maybe Warren's going top 10, and then Loveland or vice versa might be going top 10.
So if two tight ends, two rookies are going tight end or top 10, give me like, I guess, a name or two who are going to fall out of the top 10, maybe who's either being drafted or someone was finishing in top 10 last year then.
Well, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not that bullish, but I think Zach Ertz finished like top 12 last year. I don't think he's going to do that. Jonnu Smith finished, I think tight end
3 or 4.
Yeah,
like
exactly. You have Travis Kelce, who had a rough end of the year last year. I still think he's probably up there. Mark Andrews is another name that really had a really sour end to the season. Isaiah Likely. Really,
you think of TJ Hawkinson? I know this is going to.
I'm a TJ Hawkinson fan. I think he's probably going to finish the top 3 or 4. I think Bauer's obviously there. Trey McBride's obviously there, and then I have Hawkinson probably right around that 3 spot.
Ingram?
Kittle. Yeah, Ingram is another guy that could fall out of there because he obviously he's not going to get the target share he got last year, I don't believe, but he could. But then
he got hurt, so I mean we don't know what his target share really can be with the new team.
Exactly, and then but you have Brenton Strange that could slide up there depending on his target share because he took that rollover. But I think at least two guys, whatever their names might be, Warren, Loveland, Arroyo, Ferguson. You got Fannin over there that could possibly be something in Cleveland.
What if Fannin takes out Njoku? I mean, that's the bold take right there. Is if he kind of replaces him some capacity. So I don't know.
You got any more bold takes? Got any like short ones or anything like that?
Did you do the QB one?
No, I didn't do my QB one. I mean, I was just thinking about it a little bit. It's not that bold. Just thinking about where he's getting drafted, but I don't have any rookie QBs in the top 24. So obviously not a starter. And
maybe you should take it the other way and say maybe there is a rookie.
Yeah, maybe I should say there's 2 in the top 24. That'd be outlandish. But I think one little side note I have here is Keandre Lambert-Smith. A lot of noise over there in Los Angeles. He's apparently looking great on the outside. Obviously they have Ladd, and then they had him and Trey Harris competing basically for that outside spot. Quentin Johnston's having a quiet camp or a decent camp over there too. Don't put much stock into that personally, but I think Lambert-Smith. I mean, some of the tape I was watching, he looks pretty smooth. I think he had like a post route. He had just killed their DB, got it in stride, stuff like that. I think he's going to finish as their wide receiver 2 over there in Los Angeles.
How about I got one for you. Joey Jacobs is going to be 2025 Player of the Year in Ballsville.
Yeah, we have some news coming out on that too. Just keep an eye out on the socials and stuff. We'll see. There might be a little prize and something for the winner.
There you go.
We'll talk about it.
We're in the workings of that. I think Connor's gonna maybe sponsoring an award of that nature for the future. But we'll leave that out when the time comes, the announcement, things of that nature. But Connor, do you have any closing words or anything leading up to the finish of Ballsville, RookieVille? I'm sorry here.
No, I'll just say just have conviction, kind of like what we're talking about, bold takes. You don't want to just say stuff just to say stuff. You actually want to have conviction about why you believe it, stuff like that. We're not here for clip farming or anything like that, but we do believe the things we're saying. Obviously, they don't always turn out. I think I did, not to brag a little bit more, but I went like 10-1 on my pub.
You said 7-1 on the last pod. Don't
7-1 on my. I don't know what the stats is. It's been a while, but like 7-1 on my pub subs last year. I put like 4 or 5 hot takes just in the chat, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'll take that one. I'll take that one." Because they're outlandish. I think the only one I lost was Kyler Murray as a top 3 QB last year. Obviously lost that one, but
I think I went 5-2, and I lost 1 to you, and it was simply because Isaiah Pacheco got hurt in week 3 or whatever it was. I mean, he was averaging 20 points a game in the first 2 weeks. I think he was going to be a top 10 running back, but again, injuries. I don't care if anyone beats me on an injury. The other one I lost was also because of injury too. Anthony Richardson over C.J. Stroud. Remember that one with Ken?
And, that was definitely because of injury. I whatever.
Well, I mean, hey, look, if I made the connotation of points per game, Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson had a better points per game, Ken. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Yeah, he
had
also
a better
got
points per game than
who did he
CJ
get benched
Stroud.
for
Okay.
last year.
So technically, I should probably.
I think it was more play than injury, but we'll leave it there.
Well, I mean, they both were. I mean, kind of bad for fantasy, but more just because of Anthony Richardson wasn't available. But CJ Stroud definitely had a letdown. I mean, yeah, everyone drafting him so high, and I was one of them in dynasty startups too, so I have to eat that crow. But anyway, all right, we don't want to get too long on this particular episode. We got a couple more to finish out. RookieVille coming up shortly. So with that, I'm going to say that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.